Defensive lineman, A+. This is arguably the best unit on the team. It's certainly the deepest. I mean, let's just go through it. Step back for a second. 7th in yards per carry allowed, run defense. And this is a wide 9 front. 7th in yards per carry allowed, like 7th fewest yards per carry. And then 3rd in sack percentage. Only 2 teams got sacks more frequently than the Niners. So that's elite numbers, right? That's all you need to know. But then player for player, Nick Bosa has a torn ACL last year. It's his 2nd torn ACL. He's also had a core muscle. He's had 3 devastating potential career-ending injuries. Every time he has one, he comes back stronger. How does he do that? That's crazy. He was better this year than he was as a rookie, and he was coming off a torn ACL. He didn't play in 2020. He did barely anything in training camp. I was there, and I was like kind of pointing it out and not really like whining about it, but I was like, hey, Bosa's not practicing. He's just kind of like going through the motions. And boom, great season. He was a freaking machine. He was relentless. Great player, great season. Then you had Eric Armstead finding a home at defensive tackle once they moved him there. That was one of the 3 key moves of the year. One of the main key moves of the year, along with Ambry Thomas getting inserted into the offense, into the starting lineup on defense, obviously. Eric Armstead moving to defensive tackle. As a defensive end, he's a good run defender wherever you put him. But at defensive end, he's not a pass rusher. He can't even keep the quarterback in the pocket. At defensive tackle, he is a pocket collapser extraordinaire. He is an impact pass rusher. He's a really, really, really good defensive tackle. That was big. And then Arden Key. Arden Key isn't the run defender that our Eric Armstead is in the interior, but he's every bit the pass rusher Eric Armstead is, maybe even better. Arden Key came out of nowhere to be maybe the Niners' best interior rusher on the team. You also have DJ Jones, who's just there to stop the run, but he's also a good pass rusher. Kevin Givens, who's like the 3rd string nose tackle, hell of a player. Not to mention Samson Ebukam, who came on strong at the end. Charles Omena, who played well in the very few opportunities he got. Who am I forgetting? Oh, how about Javon, Kinlaw, and D Ford, who basically didn't play this year? Big reason the Niners started 3-5 is that they were like waiting for those guys to do something. Kinlaw had 4 games, no sacks, 8 tackles. D Ford had 6 games, like 100-something snaps. Once those guys were phased out and the Niners figured out their best players, this D-line took over. Was utterly dominant. And I think the only thing that stopped them this year was the fact that they started out 3-5 and had to play 4 road games in a row at the end and just kind of ran out of gas. Had they been able to play home games like they did in 2019, they'd be in the Super Bowl right now. Defensive line, A+. Jimmy plus something to Pitt for Najee. They're not going to trade Najee. They want to run their whole offense through Najee. Alpha 45 says you should never be allowed in the Niners press room again. Well, I appreciate your input. Street was the one player who really didn't have a good year. He was moved around a lot as a run defender. He had a good training camp, but I thought he was a terrible run defender from week 1 on. It's the only thing. And then Maurice Hurst, that's the guy that didn't play. Oh, Jordan Willis. Jordan Willis was really good. Jordan Willis was so good that you could probably argue next year their top 4 pass rushers should be on 3rd down, their 4-man pass rush should be Bosa, Armstead, Key, Willis. I think Willis is a better. How did I forget about Willis? This unit is crazy good. I think he's better than Ebukam. I think he's better than Amenahu. Key's a free agent. I'm not going to talk about that in a minute, whether he's coming back, but wow. Also, yeah, DJ Jones mentioned him, but Jordan Willis too. This is an A+ defensive line. So there you go. A+.